There are only two ways to live your life. One is as if nothing is a miracle. The other is as if everything is. Einstein said that. And now that I've said it, Einstein and I have got something in common.
Focus on courage. I've done a lot of thinking about courage because I spent years of my life in fear and shame. And so when I turned my life around, I made a point of going against fear and shame. 22 years in recovery. Yeah. And I've been chipping away at my fears, and I've got it down to two main ones: spiders and heights. Anybody else? Now with the heights, the heights are bad for me. I fainted at the Grand Canyon. In the parking lot. In the car, right? So that was a big challenge. So that's one of the things, I took action on that recently. I went zip lining in the redwood canopy. Yeah, the big tall trees, the redwoods, yeah, okay. Zip line, yeah.
When I got to the place, they give you this release to sign, okay? They had stuff like, you realize that this is an extreme sport and carries the following dangers. And then they had like 2 pages of possible injuries. It was like bruises, contusions, emotional trauma, broken arm, broken leg, shattered elbow, and at the end, fatality, right? And I thought, hey, this is very thorough. This is very.
I got up there, and my mind was strong, right? I had the higher power, the helping mind strong, but my knees were knocking. And so you want truth, right? Rigorous honesty. So I said to the guide, I said, my knees are knocking. And he goes, oh, everybody does that. They just do it anyway. And I thought, well, heck. Do it anyway, right? Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's bad. I'm going to do that. I launched. And I screamed like a little 5th grade girl. I was like, ah! Like that. But you know what? I got a hold of myself, and I turned the fear into fun. It was fun, right? I made it to the tree, and the guides that were there, they were like real surprised that I survived. They were like, oh, wow. We didn't think you'd make it. People like you usually don't make it, I'm like, what kind of outfit are we with anyway, but it was too late to turn back, right? I went on through 11 stations, right? 8 different trees, two of those Indiana Jones sky bridges, and then a spiral staircase into the top of a redwood tree, and you rappel down.
I rappelled from the last tree. I was so cool. By the time I did that last station, I was just like, check Grandma out now, people. Check this out. And one arm, pew, just like, ah.
But anybody here got the spider thing? Afraid of spider? I hear some of the women that are admitting it, yes. Oh, and there's a man. That's strong that you admit that. That's good. I travel for my work. I was in Los Angeles, and I saw this billboard on the freeway, and it said, it was a Los Angeles Museum of Natural History. And it said, visit the Spider Pavilion. And I thought, all right now, this is an opportunity, right? Got to look at it as an opportunity. Opportunity for me to face my fear and to grow, right? I have a friend in Los Angeles. Her name is Celia. Celia is just as afraid of spiders as I am, or maybe more. And so I called Celia. And she's like, Celia's from England, right? She's from London, so she's like, oh, Marti, it will be marvelous. We will confront our fears together. It's always good to have a Brit on your team because they may not be smarter than we are, but they sound smarter. So like we're out in front of the museum, we're making our plan, right? We're planning our mission inside. And Celia's like, Marti, this is amazing. We're going to do it. And I said, yes, we are. And she says, we will triumph. And I was like, yes, we will triumph. Because she's fancy. She's from England. And I said, yes, we will. And then she said, yes, Marti, we are a team. And you're the leader. And I thought, I don't want to be the leader. But then I thought, wait a minute. She's a guest in my country. I was born here. I got to represent. So in my mind, I started the positive self-talk. Trump. I was like, USA, 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 USA. And I was pumping myself up. And we went inside. I said, follow me, Celia, come on. And in my mind, I was, USA. We go inside. Walked in there, spiders. All kinds of spiders, all different sizes, spiders. Oh, man. And I thought, what can I be grateful for here? And it came to me, I'm grateful that these spiders are contained in plexiglass cubicles. Okay, at first we were scared to even touch the cubicles, but then we decided to rise to the challenge, So I picked out the biggest one. There was one, a great big gigantic spider from South America. It was this big giant spider. That spider's lashing out, trying to feel the power. It made me feel good, gave me courage. I walked over there, went right up to that cubicle, and I touched it. And my friend Celia, my little friend Celia, she had been like right behind me, kind of hiding behind me. She went over, she touched it. And we're like, yeah, we're still alive, yeah. So then we started to celebrate it. And Celia's like, Marti, I believe we have conquered our fears. Because she's from England, right? And I was like, you know what, Celia, I think we have. So we started celebrating. We're like high five, low five, fist bump, everything. We're dancing a little bit and all that. And then this museum employee came over and said, are you ladies ready to enter the spider pavilion? We were in the children's exhibit. Out on the steps, our team debriefed. And we counted it a win. You know why? Because progress, not perfection, and your progress is your progress, and you never have to compare yourself to anyone. Nobody is above you, nobody is below you. The white hot truth of life in recovery is that you never have to apologize for any shortcoming, any perceived shortcoming, any whatever.
She is a speaker, author, and stand-up comic who has triumphed over nightmare experiences in her life, including human trafficking, homelessness, hardcore drug addiction. Marti, you will not stop giving voice to those who don't have voice, and we're so grateful for your joining us. Someone looks at you with all your success, they'd never believe. How were you a victim of human trafficking?
I was taken prisoner. The contact, it was Japanese organized crime. It was the Yakuza. They threatened me with death. They brutalized me and terrified me, and I thought I was going to lose my mind.
Yes.
But I found my courage by, I just found that place. You know that place in your mind, there's an anchor place where it's just you.
Yes.
It's that place where you, when you shut your eyes at night, right before you go to sleep, it's only you. And I thought, this is me, this is my anchor, this is my real estate. No matter what happens to my body, This is mine, and
Yes.
I am going home for Christmas. And this was early November, and the exact right person came into that place, and I was home 2 days before Christmas. And I thought, this is not going to change who I am. And I still apply that today, like in everyday life. It's
Yes.
never let anything or anyone change the way you think about yourself. And when I returned home,
Yes.
I was so traumatized. And that's the thing, you have to survive the surviving.
Yes.
And most of my message to people is that no matter what has happened to you, no matter what is happening,
Yes.
what adversity, you have the power. You
Yes.
have the personal power
Yes.
to change your life and change your future. And the power is in the present moment.
There was a time in my life I was all the way down rock bottom. I was in a domestic violence relationship. Don't feel sorry for me. I was a fast runner. I mean, but it was a serious thing. And I was out there homeless, right? Because it's harder to track you when you're homeless. And so when I was out there, I had just the essentials for survival in this backpack, right? But I had one non-essential, and it was a pair of high-heeled dancing shoes that I bought at a thrift store. And they were like my symbol of hope. And I would take them out every day, before I went to my woodcutting job or whatever. I'd look at those shoes and I'd say, man, one of these days I'm going to get on top of this. I'm going to give up drugs. I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to go dancing, right? So one night I was hitchhiking from one town to another. I was one of what they call the rural homeless. And I'm old school. There weren't even any homeless shelters back then. I was sleeping under bridges at abandoned houses. So I was hitchhiking from one town to the next. And I was a little bit nervous because, it was dark out there and it was real foggy. It was about 17 degrees. It was Northern California. It doesn't snow, but it gets cold. And this car comes by. And I thought, man, it's the first car that night. I thought, man, I'm just going to get out in front of it. So I got out in front of the car and I was like this. This guy stopped and he gave me a ride. And he was, he was good looking. He had, he had blue eyes and like tousled blonde hair, and he was just real sweet. And his dog, he had a dog with him, and his dog was real nice. His dog sat on my lap, and we were driving along. And it was the first time in a long, long time that I had somebody just treat me like a human being, right? It was great, right? I didn't want the ride to be over. And I was thinking, hey, this is a guy I could date. And then I thought, get a hold of yourself, woman. You're homeless, you're a drug addict, you're trash, right? But I got to tell you something. Long story short, that guy and I, not only did we go dancing, but he's my husband today, and we've been together for 30 years. Yeah. Yes. It's just a beautiful thing, and don't ever tell yourself that you are not lovable. And don't ever tell yourself that you have to have a fancy mansion and rock star clothes and a big old fancy car to be loved and to be successful and to be happy. Because if you start thinking that way, remember this old lady, that I met the love of my life at absolute rock bottom. And we went on a big crime wave and everything, then we got clean. Okay. Let me leave you with this thought. If you will, take a moment today to look around your front yard, so to speak, around your life, around your heart, around your, just take a look at what's close to you that's a miracle that you maybe hadn't recognized before, okay? Take a moment to do that. And when you do, and when you find it, celebrate it and thank yourself, because you are probably the miracle that you're going to see. And just hang on. Be who you are. Thank you so much. I love you.